Hello there, I am Dr. RJ, Monster Veterinarian, and I'm here to answer your questions about your monster, cryptid, or kaiju. Strange questions for strange creatures. Now, let's begin. I have a question here from, I hope I don't mess this one up, from Shigeru and Kyu Kawamara from the Miyazaki Prefecture on the Isle of Kyushu in Japan. It's a bit of a mouthful. I hope I got that right. They say, our children kept asking for a pet, so we adopted a rescue kaiju. Oh, good for you. We chose a Rodan. Well, that's a good old school favorite. I always liked Rodans when I was a kid. It seemed like a good choice, since he can live on a big perch we built in our courtyard out of an imported American goalpost. Well, that's very innovative. I like that. His shadow shades the house on a hot day, and his wings can create a nice strong breeze. But if he flaps them too hard, our roof shingles end up in the Pacific Ocean. Well, that can be an expensive repair. However, he does come with his share of problems. He likes to collect shiny things, just like a magpie does. But he collects street lamps, cars, and neon signs. Our courtyard is starting to look like the junkyard planet in Thor Ragnarok. Oh my. The policemen in the patrol car were not happy to be dumped in our courtyard with the rest of the debris. No, I imagine they wouldn't be. We got a fine. Well, that's very unfortunate. We ourselves were not happy when our Rodan brought home a public bus and the driver gunned the engine and crashed through our kitchen. Well, that's another expensive repair, isn't it? The bills are piling up like the junk in our courtyard. What can we do about our Rodan's Kaiju kleptomania? Asking for help on a wing and a prayer, Shigeru and Kyu Kawamara from Japan. Well, Mr. and Mrs. Kawamara, you see, flying kaiju do love to collect shiny things because it reminds them of the lights of a UFO. As you all know, kaijus love to fight with UFOs, especially flying kaijus. They can do that dogfighting aerial thing. They would normally grab a UFO and bring it home, so they do like to collect shiny things. But I can see why it's a problem for you, especially if your courtyard is starting to look like the junkyard in Sanford and Son. So, first thing I would suggest that you do is to rent yourself an iron giant. Nice big iron giant. Those big suckers can gobble up all that metal that's in your courtyard. They'll eat all that junk up. There won't be any left. And the best part is, they work for food. No fee. So it's a win-win. Just make sure to hide your own car, otherwise you'll not be seeing it again. So unless you want to have to buy a new car, hide your car before getting an iron giant, because they do have a bit of a sweet tooth for cars, a metal sweet tooth for cars. So as far as the stealing, or should I say the collecting of objects, that's a nicer way to say it. What you need, I think what you should do is, there's a product from Monarch Secret Industries called Monster Mittens. I know it sounds silly, mittens, but hear me out. There's a product called Monster Mittens. They were originally designed for Kongs to keep them from picking up women and climbing up tall buildings with them. And what these mittens do is it keeps your kaiju from grabbing anything. It prevents them from really doing anything with their digits at all. And they can be designed for any type of kaiju. Just put your order in and you can have one specifically designed for your Rodan, for his type of talons, and he will not be able to grab onto anything, so he will not be bringing any more large vehicles home. Just make sure before you do that you have Velcro put on that perch you have in your backyard that will stick to the mittens, because since your Rodan will be wearing the mittens, he will not be able to grab onto the perch, in which case he will topple over and crush your house. And then you'll have a much bigger problem than a bus in your kitchen. So just make sure you put that Velcro on before you get the mittens. Now, you might be thinking, wait, he's a Rodan. He's got that long beak and teeth, and surely he'll just be able to bite right through those mittens and tear them off. But what you have to do is get the flavoring. They come with a different type of spray flavoring, and you put the flavoring on and find one your Rodan does not like. No, I would suggest Jar Jar Binks flavor because no one likes Jar Jar Binks. It will leave a bad taste in their mouth. They'll be disgusted by it. They'll spit. Once they get a taste of Jar Jar Binks, you won't want a second. Neither will your kaiju. So put that on. Put the spray on. The mittens. Kaiju will not bite into it. The mittens will stay on. He will not be able to lift anything up, and he will not be bringing anything else home. So, I hope that helps, Mr. and Mrs. Kawamara from Japan. Now, I have another question here from Christine de Chanet. I hope I got that one right also. From Paris, France. Now, she writes, my husband Raoul and I recently took a trip to the Paris Opera House. Nice. And while we were there, we found a rogue phantom wandering the halls and decided to adopt him because the people at the opera house wanted to get rid of him. We thought it was strange since phantoms and operas go together so well, but we soon found out why. I'm curious. Raoul loves classical operatic music, and the idea of having a phantom playing beautiful music all day was just too attractive to pass up. I can see that. We bought a nice piano and remodeled our basement as a hidden underground lair. Well, that is an excellent idea. That's very nice. Phantoms love their hidden subterranean lairs. They will just spend all their time down there. That's great. However, when we brought him home, we were shocked to find out our phantom only plays freestyle jazz. Well, that is strange. Raoul hates freestyle jazz, and so do I. I don't mind it myself. I like a little Charlie Parker. Well, I digress. That's really here nor there. He plays that awful music all day and night. It keeps us awake with his endless musical improvisations. We tried to soundproof the basement, but he plays too damn loud. Raoul brought him home some sheet music for Brahms and Handel, encouraging him to give it a try. Our phantom, however, just threw a tantrum and made a noose. He told Raoul not to bring him home any more dull music or he'd be wearing the noose instead of a tie. Ugh, that's not good. We never did that again. Yes, I'd say that's smart not to do that again. So he keeps driving us crazy with that music. Is there a way to make our phantom more operatic? Musically desperate, Christine from Paris. Well, Christine, this is a most unusual problem. I don't believe I've come across this particular problem before. Most phantoms from France, from Paris particularly, love their classical music, that and croissants. So I think what we need to do is find the root of your phantom's dislike of classical music. Why is he rejecting it? Is he rejecting his roots? Is this some sort of phantom rebellion? Is it a cry for help? I knew a phantom once who got into such a funk that he would only play funk music. He was a funky phantom. Well, that's neither here nor there. I think what you may find is that there is a romantic reason at the core of your phantom's jazz obsession. You see, male phantoms play music to attract female phantoms. That is their mating ritual. You play the music, hoping a female phantom will be drawn to them. Now, I think what you may find... Oh, you're probably wondering why they play jazz, why he's playing jazz music. And the reason for that is probably that there is a Dixieland jazz female phantom in your area. You see, Dixieland jazz female phantoms are Cajun phantoms from New Orleans. They speak French, and so they're very popular in France. So you may find that there is one living near you. So your phantom and this female phantom will be communicating with each other via music. This music travels. You may not hear the female phantom's music, but it is being played somewhere, and your phantom hears it, and they are communicating. Now, what you need to do is find that phantom. Scour your neighborhood, talk to people, and find out who brought home that female Dixieland phantom. And when you find their human, what you need to do is set up a play date between the phantoms, a place that they can play music together, preferably a romantic setting, because phantoms are such romantic creatures. Let's face it, they really are romantic, very romantic at heart, big-hearted creatures, very emotional. So set up a place where they can meet, with candles for romantic, and of course pianos. Don't forget the pianos, one for each of them, so they can have their own improvisational style, and they can play together. And your phantom will love it, believe me. Now, once you've done that, and your phantom has enjoyed himself, then you make a deal with him. You tell him he can continue to play all the jazz he wants when he's on his play date with his female phantom friend, but no more jazz at home. At home, he either plays classical music or no music. And trust me, your phantom will agree to this without creating any more nooses or threatening your life. He will enjoy being with that female phantom and being able to express himself with his jazz music so much that he will agree to play operatic music at home. So trust me, this will work. I know my phantoms. So I hope that helps. I should solve your problem, Christine from Paris. So that's all the time I have for today. I'll be signing off now, and I will be back next week with more strange answers for strange creatures. So I am Dr. RJ, and I was here to answer your question about your monster, cryptid, or kaiju. And until next time, have a monster of a good day.